Hi everyone, welcome back to UiPath tutorials. Today we will going to see how we can extract a table from Automation Anywhere and UiPath. First we will going to see this in Automation Anywhere. Now this is our table. We're going to extract all the data till the end of the page, which is the 10th one. Also we have to take care that we need a data where the WI5 is, where the type is WI5. Okay, so let's move to the Automation Anywhere and let me open the extractor worked items. First we have to use a data table which you will going to find here, which you will going to find in the actions data table. You have to drag drop this assign here. I'll show you. So I have already created this, but let me show you how I have created this. Then you see here the table. You have to click here how many rows and the columns you want. One row, and if you I want for example 6 columns, click on the update. After that you have to provide here the column name. That's in first is my WIID, second is a description, third is a type, also you can select the column type from here, whether it's string, number, date time or boolean. Once this is done you have to click on the apply button, and then you have to save this into the another new variable. Now to create a new variable you have to click here the create variable, and then you can name the variable and click on the create and select, and the new variable will going to be created whose type will be table. Now let's see this. Let me delete this. So how I have created it, let me edit table because I have already created it. So this is one row 6 columns. Now it have actions, WID, description, type, status and date, and I'm storing this into the dummy table. Now if I go to the variables, this is a dummy table. Let me edit this variable just to see what is the type. The type is table. Once we have created a dummy table, okay, where we have information of this particular header, after that next what we have to do is we have to use a while loop. You have to write down loop here and drag drop this loop inside this panel or flow. After that use while. You have to select the object exist here, this one, inside the recorder object exist. After that you capture. When you click on the capture, you have to capture this one, capture the next button. Once you capture the next button, the properties will look like this. Uncheck the property which is not required. So for now if I explore this, this is something which is get extracted. This is the property, these are the properties of that particular button. Now after that click this one, check the condition at the end of the iteration, because it will going to check the iteration in the end. That means it will work as a do while loop, where first it will work on this particular, or it will work means it will work, or it will do the action first, then it will check the condition. So check this one. Now the next one is the recorder capture. Type recorder This you have to drag drop here. Once you drag drop this, let me show you for now. Before that, what I have done so far, same thing you have to do, where you have to recapture. For your, maybe its capture is coming here. For me it's recapture because I have already captured. So once you capture this action, you have to take it as a get table from here. This is what the object properties look like, and I'm storing this into capture data table. Now how you will do this, go to the application, click on the refresh. This is the same action that we are doing in previous videos that I have already shown. You have to refresh it, where it will going to show you the available windows. Now this is my windows, right? Extract work items. If you see here, this is the window, extract work items. If I click on this one and if I capture this capture will going to auto detect, okay, what is this, what means, what action you want to perform, whether you use it as a get table, you want to use as a click, or there are a number of actions there where you can do. We'll see it. Let's capture it first. Okay, let me recapture it. I think this is the one. I have used the wrong one. Let me do this because it is automatically going to navigate to that window. You see, now it is navigating. If you are using a right window there in the application, it will automatically go there and highlight that particular portion of selector. Now I want this particular table to be extracted. So what I'll do, I'll highlight this, do right click, it will start capturing this. Now once this is captured, action I have to take it as get table. You see a lot of action are coming here, where you can do get property, you can set cell by index, click right click, but this is something we want get table because we want to extract a table, and then you have to store the into the variable. Now if when you are storing into the variable, again you have to do the same thing. You have to click on the create variable and create a new variable. This one I have already created, so I'll come down here. So this is my variable capture table data. Again the type is table here. If we go and see capture data table, the type is table. Now once we have all the data in the sense, it's not like the data till the 10th pages, but the data, whichever data is visible right now. Okay, so if you see that this data is visible for the first page, this is first page data. When I move to the next page, this is second page data, but whatever we have captured for only first page. Now how we can navigate one by one to capture all the data, that is something, that logic something written below. Now once you capture, let's assume you are on the first page, it is capturing that page, coming down. Now this data table merge by I have used because now when I am capturing the first page data, I want to store this data somewhere, so that when it comes to the second page, it merges the second page data to the data which is already exists. Similar way, when I'm capturing each page data, I'm storing somewhere, means storing in the sense I'm appending all the data into the one you know one variable. Hope this is understood. So how I'm doing this is capturing. So this capture table data is coming from this recorder capture. So I'm passing this one. Dummy table I have already created above. If you see, this is the dummy table I have created with the columns. And when I'm merging this data, I'm putting back to the dummy table again. That means our dummy table will have all the data in the end. Now after this, once the recorder capture on the first page, it captures the data, it put it into the dummy table with the help of merge data table action. Then the next is I have to click on the next button. So this is the similar way you capture this particular portion of the button, this one, click, so that at least it will click on this to go to the next page. The first page we have extracted, then it will merge. Basically with the help of merge, it will put all the data into dummy table, then it will click on the next button in this way. Now if you see, we are here. Now it is clicking on the next button. So again it will come back to this, capture the second page data, merge the second page data to the dummy table, then it will click on the next button. So this action will go till the end when it reaches to the 10th page. Let's assume I'm on the 9th page for now. Then I'm clicking here, and once I clicking here, you see now it is vanished, this item. That means the while loop that we have used, sorry, I'm coming back to this again. Okay, the while loop that I'm using here is something which is checking, okay, that particular next button is visible or not, is exist or not. If it is exist, that means okay, it have to basically perform these actions. Once it is not visible, that means it is on the last page. When it is on the last page, it will come out from here and then capture that last page and merge it into the data table. Hope this is clear. Now how this is happening, I'll explain it again. So let's say we are on the first page, the bot is in the loop, and the loop, in the loop, how we have described that, okay, this once this element is visible, it should be in the loop, but when this is not exist, it should come out of the loop. So when the bot is extracting or capturing this data and put it into the dummy table, it will click on next button, then it will going to extract for second, put it into the dummy table. Dummy table is nothing but we are storing all the data in a one table. Similar way, it will go to third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. We'll go to the 9 directly, but it will go one by one. Then after that, you see when it clicks on this button on the 9th, when it comes to the 10th, you see the data is not there. Means data is there, but that particular button is not there. So that means the bot will going to come out from the loop, but still when it is coming out of the loop, we want this data to be extracted, the last page. So that's why I have used this recorder capture and then the merge, data table merge. Now we have all the data into the dummy table. We have all the data into the dummy table. Okay, now after that I'm using if condition. If condition, in the if condition, what you have to select in the file, you have to select file does not exist. If the file does not exist, okay, this in file path is something you have to provide. Either you can use a variable or as a in arguments, it's all up to you. For now I'm using the as a in argument, which is in file path. Now the file path that I'm providing here, if that file is exist or if does not exist, it have to create the file, because anyways whatever I have captured in dummy table, I have to put it into the Excel, right? So if the Excel is not there, it have to create it, but if it is there, it will go come to the else condition and directly open this Excel. This is the if and else condition. After that I'm using a delete column. Why I'm using a delete column? Because you see, this is the action that I have created, but anyways I don't require this action to be put it into the Excel. I don't want this because anyways this is not having any data, it is having only the search button. So I'm just deleting that from the dummy table. Now you are wondering like, okay, then why I was taking it initially? Because when I'm appending a data to it directly, or I'm not appending exactly that word I have to use, but I'm merging a data in into the dummy table. So there that should remain the same, because you see whatever I'm extracting from here, the same number of columns should be there, right? So initially what I've done, I have created the columns, the similar columns which is present in this work items. So when I am putting it into the Excel, I am just deleting this one because I don't require. I require only this data: WID, description, type, status, and date. Hope this is clear. So I am deleting that column. After this, on A1 position, B1, C1, D1, I am just putting a default text which will be treated as a headers: WID on A1, B1 description, C1 type, D1 status, and E1 date. I have used one assign number. Similar way you can find this here by typing a number. Expand this one I have used it, where I have assigned a 2 to value to this Excel counter. Now this Excel counter is number basically. Why I have used this 2? Because I want to put my data from the second row, where at the Excel start from 1 2, right? On the first it will have the headers, on the second we will have the data, so it will start putting a data from the second row, because on the first row we have already put the headers above. Coming down in the loop, now I'm iterating all the dummy table data. So for that what I'm doing, I'm selecting this for each row in data table inside the data table. Now for each row in data table, it will iterate all the rows which is present in dummy table. Okay, now assigning the current row, as it will, each row it will going to iterate one by one. So I am basically storing that row into the data into the table row. Now what is the table row? And you added this, so this is a record type. Okay, in the table the rows are treated as a record basically. Like similar way in UiPath we have a data table, and data table we have the rows, but here we have a table and the rows are called as a record here. That is what the difference is. So anyways, we are retrieving the whole row and storing it into the table row, right, one by one. Now from the table row basically we are going to retrieve the data of WID, type. Two we are going to retrieve. Now first is WID, another is type. I've used one if condition where if the Excel counter, how I have written it, I have select the condition here, the number condition. Okay, so here I've used the number condition where source is Excel counter, which is coming from here, is greater than 1, and if WID equals, if this WID if equals to WID. Now why I am using this one? Because when I'm extracting a data from each page, you will get to know, you when you comment this and run the code, you'll get to know how the data will come into the Excel. But okay, I'll tell you why I am using this. So let's say you're on the first page, you are retrieving this whole data with the help of capture recorder. So it will going to retrieve the headers also. So for each page, if you see, we have headers, so it is retrieving the headers, means that means we will have a 10 headers in the data, right? So I'm removing that data. Exactly, I'm not removing it, but I'm skipping that with the help of continue. Now if the type is WID, if the okay, let me come to this one. If the Excel counter is greater than 1, which is fine, and when the WID equals to WID, right? WID equals to WID means if this WID value in the WID, if we are retrieving each row, that means if it is coming as a WID, then I have to skip this. I don't want to put this into the Excel. So for that I am just continuing the loop so that it will go to the next iteration. Now if you come down, there is another if condition where I have selected string condition here, type equals to wi5. I I want only those data to be put into the Excel where the type equals to wi5. So when it when this condition is met, it will come here and start putting a data to the Excel file. Now if you see here, I'm putting the WID data on the on a column basically, and this is the Excel counter. So first time it will come, that means it will going to uh, you know set a cell value on A2 basically, because Excel counter starts with the 2, then A2. On A2 it will put a WID value. Similar way for B also, for B2 it will put a description, for C2 it will put a type, for D2 it will put a status. No? When and then I increase the counter by +1, that means now it is 3. When it comes again here, and if the type, if WID is not equals to WID, then it will come here. If the type is equals to WI5, then it will come here and again starts, it will set a cell value again on the basis of the counters. And once this is done, in the end it will close the Excel. I'll show you the result how it is coming, then there will be more visibility. Now what I'll do for now, I'll click on this so that at least it should be on the first page. I don't have any. Okay, this is created already, you see ACME items. So for now I'm deleting this so that the bot will going to create this. Clicking on the run. In file path I was using, you can use the variable also if you want to pass this value directly. So for now this is the path where I want this file to be present. Clicking on the confirm button. Now this how this in variable is coming. So this is basically, when you create a variable, there are an option whether you want to create an in or out variable. So you can check mark that and then you can create it. Now it is started extracting a data on the each page. So you see on each page we have headers also, that means it is also retrieving the headers. I'll go one by one till that next button get vanished. It is on the last page. It's running right now. It is on the line number 9. Now it is started putting a data into the Excel, only those data whose type is WI5. So far we have checked how we can extract a data in Automation Anywhere. Now we will see it how we can do from UiPath. I have created an extract work item sequence by right click on this and then click on add and then use a sequence and give a name. So for now I have created extract work items sequence. After that, what I'll do, I'll click on table extraction, click on add new column, and I click on any column, and then it will ask, okay, you want to extract all the columns from the table? Yes. After that, extract data from multiple pages. Yes, I want to extract data from multiple pages. I'm indicating the next button. After that, I am going to if you want to review this, you can review from here. Okay, this is the action URL is coming right now. If you don't want this action URL, what you can do is you can delete this when you can preview. Yeah, now here this is the functionality we have right now. So if you don't want this actions also, you can delete this, because I want only WID description, type, status and date. Now if I preview this, this is the data what I want. Okay, now you can click on save and close. Okay, now as I have used this table extraction, which is again a modern activity. Now this can be done without the modern activity also. If you want to go with the classic, you can go with the classic also. Once this is done, what you have to do, you have to use right range activity. This is the right range activity. I'm going to store in test.xlsx. Now this is something which I'm hard coding right now. You can pass a variable also. Sheet name is sheet1. This is the extract data table I want to pass, so I'm going to use this one, extract data table, and put it here. Now after this I'll do add headers. Now what I'll do, I'll click on this button and then I'm going to run this bot. Now you are thinking, okay, here it is much more simpler, right? We have extracted the data, we have the next page option there, we have a preview button there, and also we have option to remove or add new columns there. Once it is extracted a data, it will directly put all the data into the text.xlx file. It is still running. Let's wait for some time. Now if I refresh, because I'm using test.xls file, I'm directly using the file name, so it will going to store it into the project itself. I refresh it. So the advantage of this one is, you see, I am not using whether the file is exist or file is not exist. If the file is not exist, it will automatically creates for us. If it is already there, it will going to do the right range into that. Now let me open this file. Now you see the data is all over here in the Excel file, which is pretty straightforward. After that, okay, one more step is there. If I want only WI5 data, that is something, right? So what I'll do, I am going to use a filter activity here, which is filter data table. Now this filter data table is something which I believe is missing somewhere here. If we see, go to the action, filter. So it is for Excel, we don't have for data table. If we go for data table, let's see, for data table also we don't have any filter activity here, but here we have filter data table activity. So I will going to utilize this one. I want a data, so I'll use a column name here first, type column, and if it is type is equals to wi5, which is wi5, and I'm going to store the same data into the filter data table here. You can create a new variable also, but for now I'm utilizing the same one. What is happening here, I'm passing extract data table to data table. Then on this extract data table, I'm putting a condition that, okay, where the whether column type equals to where the value equals to wi5 in column type, it have to keep that data and stored it back to the extract data table. Now let me run this again. For now, before that, I am clearing this out. Okay, let me go to the first page. I'm going to run it again. Okay, just started extracting a data. Okay, I'm not merging and doing all those stuff. It is extracting a data, giving me into one data table, filtering that data table and putting back to the Excel file. Now that Excel file is either is created already or not created, it will going to manage automatically. We don't need to worry about it. If it's not there, it will create it. If it's there, it will put a data into that. That's how the beauty of UiPath. Now let it complete, then we will see the result. For automation anywhere, if I don't know, like there are many approach again, I'm saying, but if you know better approach that what I have shown, then you can comment on my video so that I can create another video on that with a better approach. Okay, let's see the result. So now we have a WI5 data. So this is what the difference in UiPath and automation anywhere. There are certain actions and we have to use the in automation anywhere to achieve this task, and in UiPath we have here a certain activities to achieve this. Thanks for watching my video. Now we'll come with something which is more interesting in our next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.